Good morning. How are you doing?
I am wonderful.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. You are the first one here.
You know I like to be on time.
Okay. Turn my volume up so I can hear everyone. I'm excited as always for this class. I think today is going to be a wonderful class. Every week, do things just a little different, and today is no exception.
I wouldn't think it would be anything less. It just keeps getting better.
Yes, I like that. Yeah, today is definitely gonna be a culmination of a lot of things that we spoke about in the prior six classes. So today is gonna be a good one. And
Got my
then
notepad out.
what was that?
I said I got my legal pad out so I can take notes.
Yes. And as I said today I won't share with you. I won't everyone else. But today is definitely going to be a hands-on class. Today is hands-on.
All hands on deck. Okay.
Yes,
This is
yes,
this
yes.
is week 4,
S-
5, 6,
Seven.
7.
No, I'm sorry, six. Ooh, got ahead of myself. So we're about a quarter of the way through. So, um, I was, as I was going through the book and I was looking at the remaining chapters, I was like, wow, okay. If we can get this foundation down, then the remaining 16 chapters are really going to be a cakewalk.
Nice. I
Yeah,
gotta
yeah. If
I
we can
gotta
get if we can get today's down, the remaining 16 chapters are going to be a cakewalk. If we don't get today's session, if everyone is not able to do this hands-on, then you're really going to be a little bit behind.
I'm already behind.
What do you mean you're already behind?
I'm behind because, first of all, I didn't get to read last week. I will catch up, but I'm behind. I don't like being behind. I don't like being behind, but
Yeah.
right now I am doing a juggling act. So,
All right, folks are starting to come on board. Awesome. Let's see.
yeah, 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 yeah.
I'll try this one. Good morning, Miss Kim Wright.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
Let's see. I'll do above is the slide on that. Above slide rank.
How are you this morning?
I am doing good. Woohoo. All right. Look, see me that. Look, I'm trying my best to get this Slido link done, and I think today I finally was able to make certain that everyone has access to it
Okay.
in time because we got some interesting questions. See, when y'all was growing up, did y'all play baseball or softball,
I played softball.
basket,
Now, I play basketball. No
basket?
baseball, no softball.
All right. So the question is, it's okay. Do you
Mm-hmm.
understand the game of baseball?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good,
Yes.
good, good, good. I'm just making certain.
It's not a touchdown.
No, 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 no. So at least you'll be able to answer some of my questions
Mhm.
this morning. Let's see. Good morning, Benny.
Good morning, Fred. How are you?
I am doing fine. Nice to have you on the call. Miss Clivia, buenos dias.
Buenos días.
Mhm.
How are you feeling today?
Outstanding.
Okay. Just making certain. All right, awesome. I will wait for just a couple of minutes more. Um, and then we'll get started. I sent 2 emails out to the class, so hopefully, if you haven't checked your email, um, please check. Um, and then we will get going. And then, of course, one is a familiar one, and then the other is the agenda for this morning. Did anybody do anything fun or exciting over the weekend?
I did some fun and exciting stuff. I ratified the contract. I went to Old Town. I took pictures of flowers and I worked out.
Okay. My exciting weekend was this in the office working. That was it, literally. Trying to play catch up. Okay. Well, if it's just the 5 of us to include Harry's AI note taker, that's fine. We are going to be respectful of everyone's time and we're going to get going. So, as always, thank you for attending today's session. As I was telling Chanel, today's session I think is extremely important. As I'm looking through the remaining 16 chapters, 17 chapters, today is, I think, a chapter that, if completed, the remaining chapters, you will have a better understanding. If not, you might be just a little bit behind, but nothing too great. And at the end of the session, you'll understand why today's session is pretty important to me, very important in terms of what we're going to do. So let's do a brief recap of chapter 5, last week's session. It was titled "The More You Prospect, the Luckier you get," and it talked about the 3 core laws of prospecting: the universal law of need, the 30-day rule, and the law of replacement. The universal law of need is desperate people are desperate and customers know it. When you're desperate, you're desperate. You'll say and do things that you may not normally do because you're trying to bring in that revenue to help you with any bills that you might have. And then, of course, the 30-day rule: miss one prospecting day, and within 90 days, you will feel it. You miss a week of prospecting, and it'll impact a commission check. If you miss a month, you're going to tank your pipeline, you're going to be slumped, and then you will definitely be desperate. So those are the 3 core laws of prospecting. And we must continue to replace old stale prospects with new opportunities. So when prospects or leads aren't moving forward, it's okay for you to move forward put them on some type of a drip campaign, follow them once a year, but we must put those aside and continue to work forward, because we're always after new leads, so that our pipeline will be full of actual prospects that are going to go forward. And let me just take one step back here. I don't think we've ever discussed it. Would anyone like to take a chance of sharing the difference between a lead and a prospect? Anyone? What's the difference between a lead and a prospect?
A lead is someone that you have the potential to connect with. A prospect is someone that you have made a connection with that may generate future business.
Okay, awesome. And then what? And then after a prospect becomes a client. That's what we want. We all make our income by having clients, those that go to the closing table. If none of our prospects go to the closing table, none of us get paid. It would be nice for us to get paid based on our looks like Benny, but it's just not going to happen, at least not for me. So we always have to have clients go to closing. Isn't that right, Benny? She's on mute. Oh, Kim raised her hand. Go ahead, Kim.
I was going to say, I have never had this happen since I've been in real estate, to realize how important it is to have a full pipeline. I had three sellers fall out, and one was actually incoming soon. Yeah. So if I did not have a pipeline with people coming up, that would have been a very um, minimum sad situation. Would have been a panicking situation, or like we said, desperate situation, if that were not, if I didn't have other people in my pipeline. So I've heard of other agents, things like that happening. Of course, I've had one thing 2 days before closing, and three transactions that I was only representing the people for one, but three transactions fell out because of that one. The seller didn't, well, her mother wouldn't sign, then she couldn't buy, and then the people she was buying from, of course, couldn't sell. So that really, but this three at one time, that really just brought home this fanatical prospecting for me in a real way.
Well, that is good. And we've all had loans that have gone south, listings that have gone south, but 3 in a week, yeah, that's a kick in the gut. That makes you think, why, Lord, what is going on? What is it you want me to learn from this experience? What is going on? So thank you for sharing, because in our profession, it's not always roses. I mean, a lot of times we get some challenges and things just go sideways, and it's just brutal. So thank you. 3 in 1 week. That is tough. Okay. Now, success stories. We had Kim talk about a challenge, but in a way, it still was a success story because she was successful by having a pipeline. So when when her transactions failed, she was still able to have other prospects to replace them and for her to keep on going. Anyone else have a success story? Anything from last week that they may want to share pertaining to any clients, cold calling, or transactions at all? Okay. I have one.
Oh.
I finished my cold calls and I was able to make calls and actually speak with Karen Ryan and this, I guess, Nez Hakeem. They were the two realtors that were given to me. I had to find their contact information. I had to do some background work on them, and I called them both Friday, and I spoke with them. Karen Ryan, who referred me to oh, that was I think Manetta Miner. She referred me to Karen. We had a great call. This was a realtor call up. She wasn't expecting me, and this was somewhat of an unusual request. She asked me if I can provide some information to her about how I work with um, first time home buyers and what I can do to assist them. So I wrote down some of the challenges that first time home buyers experience, and then I gave 3 examples of issues that first time home buyers have a challenge with, and that is credit, debt to income ratio, and down payment funds. And on each of those 3 issues, I had a case study of a client that I work with and how we were able to overcome those issues. So this week, I'm going to follow back up with her, see if she read that email. It was a little long, but I sent it to her. And then for Nez, Benny, I think this was from you, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So we had a good call. We only spoke for just a couple of minutes. He knew the company that I was with. SWBC is their preferred lender. So I'm going to follow up with him and see if we may have an opportunity to meet in person.
Sometimes sometimes.
So that turned out well. So I was excited about that. All right. Yes.
So
The poll.
yeah.
Okay. If everyone can mute themselves, there is some noise in the background. So if you wouldn't mind just muting yourself, that would be awesome. All right. If you go to the top of the chat, you are going to see the link to the Slido poll. So if you wouldn't mind clicking on that, I'm going to get my screen together. And let's see if you can see my first one. Hopefully it's going to show up. I hope. Oop. Hold on. Present. Okay. I was talking to some people. Can everyone see the first question?
Yes.
Okay. Ooh, we got one person to answer. So the question is, in Major League Baseball, with a 300 batting average, are you a multi-millionaire? Just guess. Just all of my questions today are true or false. We only got one person answering. Is everybody else able to access the poll? Okay.
I see it, but I cannot vote.
You can't vote?
No, doesn't give me, like, I'm clicking and it doesn't allow me to. I
There's
see
an
that it says
answer.
50-50.
Yeah, me too, but I can't click on it.
Again. So when you click
Okay.
on it,
Oh,
so
let
you
me
would,
see.
and I don't have an explanation of mine. Yeah, because normally if you click on it, you should have the ability to just select the answer. Well,
No,
Clipper, you answered it.
no, I haven't.
But
You
if I
see the
click
little
on
pen
it,
moving, that's me.
That's you.
Yep.
I
Now,
can
everyone else that
click.
answered, you were able to click on the link and see the question and answer it.
I see the question, but it says 50-50, but I can't click on the answer.
Huh? And I don't have an answer to that. Okay, all right. So,
Oh, wait
all
a
right,
minute.
that's
If
good.
we go to active poll, is that where we click active
Yes.
poll? Okay.
Yes.
I'm in
Active
some crazy screen
poll.
here.
I can go to active poll, but I can't click on the answer.
All right, which is good. All right, Sherry, what is your answer? True or false to the question?
True.
All right, Clivia.
True.
Okay, very good. And the answer is true. And when you think about it, a three in baseball, the term is you have a 300 batting average, but percentage-wise, it's just 30%. What that means is if you get up to hit, if you have 10 at bats, and if you get on base 3 times out of 10, that's a 30%. And if you're in school, if you answer 3 questions right out of 10, you have a 30, and that's an F. But in baseball, where it's more difficult, if you get on base 3 times out of 10, you are a multimillionaire. I was sharing this to my son, and he was like, just think about it. You can be failing, and then in baseball, you will be a multimillionaire with just a 30% percentage of getting on base, which I've always found that amazing. All right, so let's go to the next question, and that's as a result of knowing your numbers. This is as a realtor. As a realtor, are you successful with a 30% closing ratio? We have one with a no. Any others? Hopefully you can be able to answer this
I think
particular.
yes, but I can vote.
Okay. Oh, you can't vote?
No, doesn't let me.
I can't either. I click yes, but I can't vote.
Hold on, let me.
So 3 out of 10 for us wouldn't be bad at
Yes.
all.
Yeah,
All
because
right, we
it
got 2
depends on the
answers.
deals.
Okay. Sherry, your response is?
Yes.
All right, that's 4. Clivia, your answer is?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. There is no right or wrong answer, but I would say you would be successful with a 30% closing ratio, meaning that out of every 10 leads that you have, if you're able to close 3, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. If you think you want your ratio to be higher than that, that is fine. But I think 30% is good. And for a loan officer, that is good as well. If we close every 3 deals or every 3 leads out of 10, they go to closing, you are doing well. And then the last one, elite salespeople, like elite athletes, track everything. Elite salespeople, like elite
True.
athletes, track everything. True or false?
True.
True.
True, yeah. And that's one of the things. My son always tells me LeBron James spends $1 million a year on trainers to food to whatever to stay at his peak level. I'm certain he knows what his free throw percentages are, the score, everything. He spends $1 million a year to stay on track. And I think Steph Curry spends that much as well. And that's why they are elite athletes, because not only do they track, do they track their what they do each game, they track what they eat as well. They have a specialized chef, trainer, everything. So that is why they are elite. And even for us as salespeople, as you can see, today's session is going to be all about tracking and knowing our numbers. Any questions regarding the poll? Okay.
I need to be like LeBron James. Get rich so I can spend $1 million.
Yeah, that's what they do. They spend $1 million. Okay. Oh, but I'm going to take one step back from our agenda. Several of us on the call were able to attend last week's conference that we went to on Wednesday, titled Nourish to Flourish. It was a fabulous conference in terms of what was presented. And I'm glad that 5 of us from our class, well, 4, and then one of persons who doesn't attend, but who still signed up, we all went and had a wonderful time. And next year, if they have it again, I want to attend again, and my goal would be to probably to try to sponsor 20. So, would anybody that's on the call would like to share any comments from what they learned from attending that Nourish to Flourish conference, just so those that did not attend would have a better understanding of what you were able to learn and how it impacted you? I know there's 3 of y'all on the call, so I could pick on one.
This is Cassandra. It was fabulous. I really enjoyed it. There were some great personal testimonies and experiences from realtors. They were very transparent and real about some of the things that have been challenges for them as realtors. And it was a breath of fresh air, very encouraging and inspiring, to know that, we all have struggles and we all have challenges, and they gave quite a few tools to use in the times where you can, and they gave all examples. You could be very, very successful having, $1 million sales, but still on a personal level, just not be in a good place. And so that was very enlightening. They talked about all kinds of things like how we eat. It was more like a personal care than more so like a personal care for yourself as a realtor to be successful, more so than lead and money driven, which is very important. We have to have that. But they gave some very good tools to use, how to calm yourself. They touched on realtors that have ADHD, and surprisingly, at some point, everyone just about had their hand raised that they can relate in a personal way to that. But great tools for just how to show up better, show up and be your best, from dieting to exercise. Just really all kinds of great tools, and each and every one came from a different perspective, but they were all very enlightening.
Thank you very much. You hit it well. Benny or Clivia, is there anything you
I'm
may want to
here.
add?
When I went to the meeting because of Fred. I'm a woman of my word. So if I, especially to him, that I'm very thankful for you investing your time in us, really. I told my husband, I said, here I go to hear the secret formula of how to sell real estate. And I had a plan to leave by noon. Okay. This is 6 hours. I'm going to be sitting there. Let me tell you, it was refreshing. It was amazing. And it was about reminding people that we are humans. We are humans. Like we get so caught up in being flashy, in being in the media, in doing. And like when a technology person said to you, AI is a tool for you to use to make you save time and become better. And this is what is in right now. But if you are a human and what we offer to our clients, quality time, help you during your transaction where you are at work, showing them that we care, that no AI can do that for them.
Very
And
good.
I had a client that said to me, oh, I went through Zillow, but Zillow says that they couldn't show me the house. So this is why he came to me. I'm like, thank you, Zillow. Okay, so they can see it on the screen, but they want to go and see it themselves. So this is where we are the one to go to.
Very good. Yeah.
Okay, so they ended up saying use technology as a tool, don't be a tool for technology.
Yes. Very good. And the
Yes.
gentleman also says that for us, we cannot be replaced by AI because we are the ones that care. AI does not care. We don't care about people. AI can't love on people. That's what we do. So that makes us different from everybody else. So thank you so much. And Benny, if you wanted to add something, that's fine. If not, I understand.
It was really good. Feedback. Sorry.
Okay, that is awesome. So I'm glad that everyone had a wonderful time. And so next year, my goal, if you did, I'm gonna try to get 20 of y'all. Yeah, because you will definitely um enjoy it. And this is Fred Wilson talking. Of all the conferences that I've attended in my mortgage career, real estate career, to me, that was the best. Yeah. Because it was just people just talking from themselves, from the challenges of losing weight and people just, not really believing in that they could lose weight, from people having a family member die, people having cancer. And these are just people just opening up and sharing things that you would not normally hear about. But they were quite candid and shared with him that regardless of all the success they had, this is what they were dealing with. And so it was quite refreshing. And they all gave us tools for all of us that could help us in our business. That was, yeah, it was really refreshing to hear those type of persons to share their personal stories. All right, so let's jump into today's session. Today's session is going to be hands-on, and and you will see in a couple of minutes how it's going to be hands-on. Today's session is chapter 6, and it's Know Your Numbers, Managing Your Ratio. When I first started really understanding sales, there was something that was said over and over again. I'm certain you have heard it yourselves. Sales is all about numbers, and sales has been and will always be about numbers. The question is, do you know your numbers? And the other part is that no one really talks about, what numbers are you supposed to know about? They always say sales is all about numbers. Okay, but what numbers are they referring to? How much are we supposed to know about those numbers, whatever those numbers are? And that's what we're going to talk about today. What numbers should we really know about? I've done a lot of volunteer work with individuals less fortunate that are in some type of public assistance where you have to take these financial managing classes. And I've always talked about on budgeting. And there was a saying, there's a saying that I use all the time. I use it for some of my clients as well. That is, that which you can track is what you can change. That which you can track is what you can change. So if you aren't tracking in terms of budgeting, I would always ask them, do you feel like you need to save more? Yes. How can you save on a monthly basis? Should you stop eating out? And they say yes. So then my question is, well, how much money do you spend eating out? And they look at me and they're like, we don't know. I was like, well, so you need to stop eating out, but you don't know how much you're spending on eating out. And if you don't know how much you're spending eating out, if you stop eating out, will it really make a difference for you to attain your goal? That's knowing your numbers, tracking what you spend in terms of budgeting, what you spend on your hair, your nails, your gas. These are all personal expenses that if you could probably make a slight change, it could help you increase your savings. But if you don't know how much you're spending, if you're not tracking it, how are you going to know? And that's what today's session is all about, tracking your numbers. And on a personal note, if anybody needs help with those type of numbers, you let me know. My wife calls me the Quicken Monster. In our house, we use a budget. I'm a firm believer in tracking. I like using the electronic software. So if anyone wants to learn about Quicken and how to use it, I'll teach it to you at no cost. And I'll share with you everything that I know free of charge. So
wow, that's great.
That I enjoy doing. The author, he presented this equation that I think is so unique. Efficiency plus effectiveness equals performance. What is efficiency? Efficiency is how much activity you are getting in the time block allotted for a particular prospecting activity. So you could spend a lot of time making a whole bunch of phone calls, let's say in 1 hour. You have been quite efficient during that 1 hour time block, which sounds good. But the other part is effectiveness. Effectiveness is the ratio between the activity and the outcome. If you spent during that 1 hour, if you've made 20 calls, and of those calls, you were able to have 2 appointments, you might say, I was quite effective. Not necessarily. You may have been effective, but if it took you 20 minutes to make those 10 calls, and then for the remaining 40 minutes, you was just sitting back, relaxing, like, life is good. I scheduled 2 appointments. You were not efficient. You were effective in what you were able to accomplish, but your efficiency with how you spent your time was not. So that's where we have to do both, be efficient and effective. And a lot of times when we have to time block, we know that we have to do it within that time period. So we set aside that 1 hour, and the challenge is, what are we doing in that 1 hour? What are we doing in that 1 hour? Or are we spending 1 hour? Even if it's 30 minutes, how efficient are we in that 30 minutes? Are we maximizing what all we are doing? And can it be effective? I just had a thought. How many of you seen the movie with Will Smith, where he portrayed this stockbroker? What was the name of that movie?
Pursuit of Happiness.
Pursuit of Happiness. Very good. All right, Chanel, since you answered the Pursuit of Happiness, when he was starting off making these calls, how did he become more efficient at his time where he can make more calls?
Oh, let me think and remember the movie.
Does anyone know?
I can't remember. It was a long time ago.
Didn't he start? He something with the dialing, wasn't it? With the dialing?
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
He maximized his dialing system so that he could make a lot more calls. That's all what he did. And that helped him grow his business because he was calling more people. It wasn't as though his success rate dramatically increased, but since he made more calls faster, even though his success rate remained the same, he was more successful because he was dialing more people and generating more income. So he was a lot more efficient utilizing his time. So that's to me, that's a good example of efficiency and effectiveness. All right. When we know our numbers, they keep us grounded in reality, they keep us honest, and they keep us focused on our production goal. I'll repeat this one more time. When we know our numbers, they will keep us grounded in reality, where we're not shooting this pie in the sky type of number. We know exactly what our number should be. They're going to keep us honest. In many cases, they're going to keep us humbled, and they're going to keep us on our production goals. Would everyone be in agreement?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what I'm going
yes.
to do, hold on. I said I was going to do this. So I'm going to open my screen. And hold on. I think this is it right here. Here. Okay. Can everybody see my screen? Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This is my numbers. I don't think I've ever showed it not like this. Where in 2026, my goal for the year is to have 16 million in annual sales, which is 1.3 million a month. And if you look, this all blank. January, February, March. So by next week, I need to take my time and fill in these. I completed this, and then what I did is I went and took some time to figure out this on a monthly basis. So this is going to be my personal production, my monthly production, my average sales price, what my percent of the commission is for each transaction. So this is what I'll receive on each transaction. And then this is where I need to be, 4 transactions a month. And the number of monthly sales is still about 4. Oops. And then this is my closing, my conversion, I say is 35%. So if I need 131 annual leads, and this should be new leads, I need 11 a month. And so on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis, 2.61 or 3 leads per week, new leads. I think this number here is too high. I'm in the numbers, and I think I'm going to have to probably reduce this down. And then after my expenses, this will be my monthly net income after spending this much on sales activities. So this is my numbers, upfront and honest. You can see my numbers and you can hold me accountable. This is what I hope to achieve this year. And this is where I know I need to be with looking at the number of new leads, 11 a month. And so I'm tracking it, but I'm going to do a much better job. And then each month, I'm going to show you this. This is where I am. So if I'm going to be leading this class, then I need to be transparent so you can see how I'm doing. And this is what I'm doing, just so I could be transparent and let you see what I am working towards. Any questions? Oh, Sherry raised her hand. Yes, Sherry.
Is this the same one that you shared with us before that you wanted us to fill out? Oh,
No.
okay.
However, uses the perfect segue. I am so glad you answered that question. Now, before I go on, Clivia, did I answer your question previously because you had your hand raised?
No, I said that I'm in for the class.
Oh,
Teaching us
okay.
how to do that.
Okay. All right. Now, class, this is where we're going to do the hands-on. And we got enough time for us to complete. And I emailed it just in case everybody has, if you have not done it, it's okay. We're going to do this together. And that is going to be that realtor income calculator. So Sherry, you answered it you asked that question at the appropriate time. And can everyone go to their email, or if you can do it on your phone? We need to go over this, the Realtor's Annual Income Calculator. Today, my goal is to have for each person to, if you've completed it already, awesome. If not, I'm taking the time today to ensure everyone has completed this, because these are going to be the numbers that we're going to be looking at. Are we all in agreement? Yes, no? I hear
Yes.
crickets.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right, good. So if everyone has theirs up, if you haven't done it, pull it up and let's knock it out. So this is how we do this worksheet, and I want everyone to participate. How much money do I want to make? This is before years, and this is just an example that I have. Fill in if you want 100, 200, 300, 400, whatever number you want to be. Fill this number in here. And then what is your average sales price? If you don't know it, just estimate, because next year you're going to know what this number is. whatever your commission split is with your broker, fill it in. If it's 1%, 2%, 3%, doesn't make a difference. Just fill it in. And, oh, excuse me, I'm back up. What is your average sales commission? And then your split. I put in 100%. If someone is 100%, you can put in 70% or whatever. And this is the amount of money here, what you will make on each transaction. And then to achieve my goals, I will need to fund this, and this number here should come up. And then I need to close this many transactions each month. Perfect. Any questions on this section here? Okay. If not, now let's start figuring out realtors. You have expenses. Percentage of annual income I will allocate towards business development. Put in this number, 1%, 2%, whatever. And this will give you this number. This 10% is 10% of 300,000. Brings you 30%. And if you have any other expenses for rent, employee salaries, or anything else, you can put that number there. And this is going to be your tax rate. If you're in the 25% tax bracket, 30% or what, this is what your net annual income is going to be. All right. Now that we have this number here, now we get down to knowing your numbers. What percentage of your prospects convert into closed sales? And this is you go from a lead to a prospect to a client. So what percentage of the prospects? So if you have, as an example, if you get 10 leads a month, and out of those 10 leads, you have 5 prospects, and of those 5 prospects, you will close 1, then that means from prospects to closed sales, that percentage is 20%. Repeat this one more time. If you have 10 leads, and if you have 5 prospects from those 10 leads, in actuality, your prospect percentage is 50%. But what you close from those prospects is 1 out of 5. That's 20%. And this one here, I have 80%. Whatever your prospect closing percentage, it is what it is. And then it says, this tells you, this will start calculating how many prospects that you need to have, and based upon how many weeks in the year you plan on working, the new prospects required per week to achieve that goal. And this one here, it's 0.65. Any questions on the prospect calculator? All right. Now here comes the big one, the lead calculator. Percentage of your leads convert into prospects. I'm going to change this to 30%. Oops. Now this comes up automatically. Oh, this comes up automatically. This is too high. I'm going to change some of my numbers. Any questions on the prospects? And what percentage of your leads convert into prospects? 30%. Here it comes. Ooh. Oh, not 300. %. I need to generate this many leads for the year, 104, taken out for vacation and conferences. new leads required per week, 2.17. Now, let me stop here, and I want to make certain everybody's on the same page. Does anyone have any questions in terms of how we came up with 2 leads per week? Okay, this is what I want to do. What percentage of your prospects convert into closed sales? What percentage do you think is appropriate for this number here? What percentage do you think is good for a realtor for close leads? I mean, from closed transaction to prospects.
I put 30.
Okay.
30%.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought from 20 to 30, but 30.
Yeah. So that's 5.79. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make this to be a little more realistic. I'm going to change this to 200,000. I'll say this one, 200,000. So if your goal is 200,000, you're going to need to close 1.39 transaction if your average sales price is 400,000. And then the new leads per week is 3.86. And of the 3.86 new leads, you need to have 1 prospect. And then the course of 1 year, 185. So the big question is, where are you going to come up with 185 leads? This is the number. Where are you going to come up with 185 leads per year? And then divided by 12. Hold up. That's 48. Make sure my numbers are right. Per week. Oh, yeah. 48 weeks. So 3.86 new leads a week. This is what we should be tracking. If I have to get 185 new leads a year, I got to come up with almost 4 leads a week. That's the number. Then you have to ask yourself, okay, what am I doing to come up with 4 new leads a week? Questions, comments?
I think this makes it so simple. Maybe not simple to do, but it makes it simple because then you know that you need at least 5 sources to generate leads, depending on, what your math is, because you cannot get that many leads from one source. So you need multiple sources that you're going to be getting leads from.
And this is where you can change this. What percentage of leads will come from past clients? From past clients referring you, consumer direct, real estate, internet. You put all this down here. This is where you got to come up with your leads, percentage wise. This is percent wise, but you can equate this to numbers. But this is where you're going to say, if let's say, I'll put this number here. What percentage will come from past clients returning to you? Let's say 10%. What percentage of your leads will come from past clients referring business to you? Let's say 30%. What percentage of clients will come from consumer direct marketing? You say, I don't do any, keep it at 0. Real estate magazine, 0. From my internet marketing, let's say 5%. And then what percentage will then come from social media? Number 5. And then what percentage will you come from other? To make it work, you're going to put this to be a 40%, 50%. And this is how you can play around with your numbers. And then you take these percentages, by these number of leads here. 10 times. These are all the different leads. You could track these however you want. But this is how it works. So I hope everyone was able to complete this, because we're going to have, I think I'm going to try to do some challenges and some prizes for us knowing our numbers and working at our numbers. Because if we can know this, your numbers are just like mine. You saw my numbers. And this is whoever, when you complete your numbers, whatever your numbers are, at the end of the day, we all have to know how many leads in a year and how many leads each week. This is knowing our numbers. Any questions? Okay, that's today's class. Hands on. Now, if you allow me, I didn't get a chance to do it last week, but I want to try to do this week, is share a motivational video. If I can get this right. Here we go, share sound. Yes, got it right. All right. What I'm going to do is share my screen. Bear with me 1 second. I had it queued up. Nope. I got to find it. I'll play it next week. I thought I had it all queued up. And of course, with technology, I'm trying one more time. No. Motivational Hub. No, it didn't work out. Okay. Any questions regarding what we just went over? Because if not, we have homework for next week, of course. And the homework is to make one cold call, record the name, make 10 prospecting calls, use 3 prospecting types during the week, and let's see if we can track our calls, appointments, networking activities, note card sends, showing, open house, new leads, closing, and to see if we can't next week come up with our new leads. That really is a goal. Can we come up with our new leads by next week? So if according to our income calculator, can we come up with those new leads by next week? And if everybody and whomever can come up with those new leads by next week, there'll be a prize. There'll be a prize if you could come up with your leads by next week. There'll be a prize. How does that sound?
I don't understand what you mean. You mean come up with the ones we need weekly, monthly, yearly?
Just weekly.
Okay, weekly. Okay.
Just your leads for weekly. So
okay.
if your goal per week is to come up with, and if you're 2.67, you're going to round up to 3. If it's 2.31, round down to 2. But whatever your weekly goal is of leads, let's see if you can't come up with that number. And then next week, chapter 7, this is going to correlate to what we spoke about during today's session is, what are the 3 P's that are holding you back? That's what we're going to talk about, the 3 P's that are holding you back. Thank you all. Any questions, comments?
Including procrastination.
Well, Sherry done talked a little bit about it. Of course, one of the 3 P's is procrastination. It is.
Can I say something quick?
Yes.
I just text 5 people while we were on the class, and I'm chatting with one of them. It's like doing my work.
Very good. So if your goal is to get 5 new leads, awesome. You got 1 down, 4 more to go. Awesome. And I'll see if I can get mine as well. So I'm going to be in this right along with you. All right, everyone, make it a fantastic week, because each of you, to me, are fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Fred.
Thank you, Fred. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.